Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you had a good night's sleep, or that if you're watching this in the afternoon, you're having a really great day. I am so excited about this morning's prayer, and I'm really excited that you're here. We are nurturing soul, not like, nothing to do with salvation or anything like that, okay? Not the soul that some of us believe need to be saved. That's not what this is about. This is a book called Care of the Soul by Thomas More. It was probably published in 1994, and it's a book that I recommended to a client, and so I started to reread it again. I found this book very healing. It's very soulful. I always feel my heart center opening it when I read really anything by Thomas More. He's very heart-centered. And he talks about soul. Soul is not a thing, but a quality or a dimension of experiencing life in ourselves. Sometimes we're too focused on processes. We're too focused on, getting things done. We're too much in our heads, and we're not nurturing soul. And one of the things that he talks about in the book, in order to nurture soul, we have to learn how to fully accept ourselves. And this is what I really wanted to share with you today, is accepting the whole self. Oftentimes when we're on the spiritual path, when we're doing spiritual practices, we want to move away from parts of ourselves that we don't like. And what care of the soul means is, instead of moving away from, it's moving into and accepting those parts of ourselves. Sometimes we can't love ourselves. We want to love the perfect idea of ourselves. Are you following me? We want to love the perfect idea of ourselves and really escape the unique, beautiful person that we are. And so it's soul and shadow. Really learning how to own the shadow. And I'm going to tell you something. You will not be fully integrated and whole without loving the shadow side of your personality. And a lot of times we just want to bypass that because we believe that that's the part that's making us feel badly about ourselves, that's making our lives not work. When in fact, there's a lot of wisdom in the shadow and there's a lot of power there. And it's not that we have to remain dysfunctional, but that we own it and we love it. And so one of the things that I've noticed about myself with the shadow is I have a needy part. The needy part of my personality really came out after the divorce and my mother died. And I spent about a year having a conversation with the needy self so I could really own and understand that part. Now when the needy self shows up, because it still will show up every now and again, I know it's because I'm not taking care of myself and I'm feeling disempowered. It's like a little, bell. It's like, hey, are you taking care of yourself? Or you're doing the things that you need to be doing? Because if not, then the needy self shows up and starts to take over my consciousness. Are you following me? I had a client a while ago who one of her shadows was a bully. She was so sweet. She's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, very loving. And it was really hard for her to see the shadow part, the bully. And she didn't want to integrate it. So sometimes we don't want to, we're too overly identified with what that shadow means, and we resist it. But if we resist accepting ourselves, the wholeness of ourselves right now, we are missing the depth of life. We are missing the wisdom that life has to offer. We're missing a big part of the journey. I talk a lot about us being the hero in our own story, and the hero is going to have challenges, but the challenges don't just come from the outside, right? Because we think, it's the relationship, it's the parents, it's the weather, it's all this other stuff. The greatest challenges are the challenges that are in the mind, the challenges, that the parts of ourselves that show up that aren't so beautiful in response to these challenges. And what I'm asking us to do is to expand so that we can be the container that can love and can contain all of this. And I'm going to get really kind of out there, but I'm feeling moved in this way, that as we expand and as we're able to accept the fullness of all of ourselves, the parts that are light and bright and beautiful, and the parts that are dark and are shadowy, and if we spend too much time there, it can be really negative. We can expand to accept all of that. This is where the salvation of the world will come in. The world's been waiting for you, not for somebody to come back and save everyone. You are the one. And what I mean by that is that if we can accept ourselves fully, then we can accept other people fully as they are too. And that's where the peace is. You following me? Take a deep breath. We're getting deep on Tuesday, I gotta tell you, and sigh it out. And that's where the acceptance comes in. And so the people that we are repulsed by, oftentimes there's a part of us that they're mirroring that we're also repulsed by. But I don't want you to think too much about that. I want us to stay in this space where we are expanding together as we're doing our prayers, we're doing our spiritual work, as we're coming together at this time, that we're expanding and we're just learning to contain the allness, the powerfulness, the amazingness that we are. Because remember, it's self first. It's self, family, community, world. That's where the energy is going to go. We've been taught not to think about ourselves, but to think about others first. Well, that's not really working for us, okay? It's just, I don't know if you've noticed, things don't get a whole lot better when we're hyper-focused on other people and we're not focused on ourselves. And so we're focusing on owning all of ourselves. And in that owningness and in that complete love that we have for ourselves, there is only love for the other. And remember, the people in our family will begin to entrain to our level of consciousness. This is all energy. It's all energy. You with me? Yes. It's good stuff, right? I love talking about the shadow. I think there's a part of me that likes to pick at people sometimes, kind of shock them, because so often, with spiritual practice and looking at a lot of the images and everything, and everybody is perfect and thin and jumping up and down and their arms are spread out. And so it sets up this idea that in order to be spiritual and happy, we have to be that all the time. And that's not true. We're cultivating depth and wisdom and connectedness because that's where the divine is. So we're going back to our other book. I got all kinds of books out. I got my little journal out. There's lots of things happening behind the scenes here. And love dissolves all fear. This one comes up a lot, and I thought it was perfect for what we are praying on this morning, because some of us are so afraid of ourselves. And you needn't be. You needn't be. Because the spirit that you are, the spirit that is right there where you are, dissolves all fear. Everything will move into the one. Did I ever tell you the story of the Tao? In the beginning, there was the Tao. There was this big void. There was nothing. And out of the Tao came yin and yang, came light and darkness, came the world of duality. If we're just in one and we're not accepting the other, then we can't move back into the one. So that's where we're moving, back into the oneness. Love dissolves all fear. Greater than fear is love. Love dissolves all fear, casts out all doubt, and sets the captive free. So when we're not accepting of ourselves, we're actually trapped. I'm feeling a big opening right now. I'm feeling a lot of heart centers opening. I'm feeling people are relieved. They're like, oh, thank goodness I can just accept myself. Love, like the river of life, flows through me and refreshes me with its eternal blessings. Love cannot be afraid. It is fearless and strong and is mighty in its works. Isn't that beautiful? It can accomplish all things through the inner light of that faith in the all good. And all good is capitalized because all good is the divine presence. It is source, which fills my very being with a powerful presence. Love casts out all fear. Doesn't that feel good? I'm feeling quite a few people are able to really relax into that. So let's move into our meditation, into our prayer. And our prayer today is really about accepting. I think we're going to do a lean in and lean back kind of a prayer this morning. So feet flat on the floor, or if you're in a nice comfy chair, you can cross your legs and chin tilted slightly down so that the back of your neck is nice and long. Good morning. And go ahead and close your eyes, and let's take 3 hot breaths together. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. And inhaling. And exhaling. And let's imagine that beautiful golden light coming down into the crown of the head and down the length of the spine, all the way down to the bottoms of our feet. In our mind's eye, this beautiful golden light fills the entire body, spills out from the body so that the light is all around you. It's moving through you. It's in you. And you breathe into the light, for the light is your home. The light is wholeness. It's perfect. It's complete. And we breathe into the light, intensifying the peace, the love, and the acceptance. And this is what we are knowing. We are perfectly and wonderfully made, just as we are. And beloved Source, we ask that you help to shift or move whatever needs to be moved so that we can be in the full acceptance of our beautiful humanity. And through that we can touch the soul of what it means to be alive. And that we can accept and enjoy every single minute of this beautiful life. We ask for the courage not to look away, but to be in a state of acceptance of what is. And through our acceptance, miraculous changes happen. There is a deeper and more profound love that happens, a love of self that spills over into the world, into our home, into our community. We are so grateful for this time. We are grateful for the breath. We are grateful for the life that lives us. We are grateful for our creativity and our passions. And we lay down the mantle of needing to always be fixed and fixing ourselves. And we see ourselves as you see us, Divine Presence, as beautiful and loving and joy-filled beings with infinite creative potential. We see ourselves as you see us, without judgment. Inhaling. Let's take one more nice deep inhale. And exhaling, coming all the way back. Very gently opening up your eyes and give yourself some love. Give yourself some love. Give yourself some more love because it feels good. So one of the things that came up during the meditation was without judgment, there's this human idea that if I really let go of judgment, then there is no justice in the world. And it's how our minds fight with ourselves, right? So that's not true. What I'm asking us to do and what Source is asking us to do is to just relax and to be open. Because there is a law of karma. There is a law of cause and effect. So the law of karma really takes care of a lot of this need for people to be punished. Yeah. So let's just let that go. And I want you just to do an experiment and just say, can I accept myself as I am today? Can I see myself as the divine sees me today? Already whole, perfect, and complete. Nothing needs to be fixed or changed. I can go on because I love being here with you and I'm knowing great good things for you. I'm just knowing miracles are coming your way and the right people and the right circumstances and the right situations. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Namaste. Namaste.